Hi everyone, I just thought I'd make a quick video on MIG's new decal set solution. Decal. Now this was brought to my attention by a very good modeller. I won't mention his name because he may not want to be associated with this dribble that I produce on YouTube. So what I've got here, what I bought, is the Ultra decal set. Number one. There's also a decal fix, number two. I'm not too sure what that does. If anybody can educate me, much appreciated. But he said it was good stuff and he was impressed. So that was good enough for me. So I ordered some and I've been messing around with it and I'm pretty impressed. Now I'm always on the lookout for a good decal solution or decal solution. It's always a hurdle I have to jump when it comes to making models. It's a stage that I hate. Sometimes I get away with it, sometimes I don't. So when this was brought to my attention, I thought I'd buy it and give it a go. I'm going to show you how I go about using this stuff and why I think it's pretty good. So I'm going to use this bit of gash plastic. I use this when I create a custom mix and I want to see how the paint dries. This grey and green are quite old. It may be the Buccaneer colours or the Chinook colours. Now the greys have got a bit of a sheen to them, but the green's got quite a rough texture. On the other end, I've got the black that I used on the Meteor video. I've done nothing to it, haven't sanded it, haven't added any varnishes. It's just as it came out of the airbrush. So I'm going to use a couple of decals here. The dark red is from a Tamiya kit and the black serial number is from an Airfix kit. Now the only criticism I have with this MIG product is the brush. I would like the brush a bit more substantial than this. So I'm just going to dip these decals in some lukewarm water, tap the excess water off and then leave them to soak. So with the decals now ready to remove off the backing paper, I'm going to add the solution to the surface, quite liberally, making it sure it's slightly bigger than the decal I'm going to add. So the decal's placed on top of the solution. It's just a matter of sitting back and waiting. I know when I first did this, I was very tempted to squeeze the solution out or press the decal in. But no, just leave it sat there, let it do its job. So I've given the solution about 10-15 minutes. I'm not too sure how long you should give it, but I've given it time to work. Now if you're doing a model and you've got a decal that I think is going to give you trouble, it's well worth 10 or 15 minutes of your time. The only thing to bear in mind is that the solution can mark the paint sometimes, especially if you haven't sealed it in with a satin or gloss varnish. So I'm just going to wipe off all the residue with a damp cloth. Now, considering these decals were just placed on a rough surface, as I've said before, no sanding, polishing of the surface, no gloss finish, just straight onto a rough matte surface. And I think that solution's worked pretty well. It's handled that surface pretty well. So I'm just going to give these a coat of matte varnish. Now I could add satin or gloss, but with satin and gloss, any little imperfections can be hidden sometimes. Whereas matte, there's nowhere to run. The slightest imperfection will stand out a mile. So that's the matte varnish added. Now for me, on an untreated surface, a rough matte surface, that solution's worked a treat. I'm pleasantly surprised personally. So I hope this was of some help. Please let me know in the comments what you think. I want to thank you for watching, and I do hope to see you for the next video.